Coming soon to a city near you, Vinitaly Roadshow. Have you ever wondered how to attend Vinitaly for free? Are you a wine trade professional interested in a sponsored trip to Vinitaly International Academy or Vinitaly, the Wine and Spirits Exhibition? Coming soon to Princeton, New Jersey, Harlem, New York, and Chinatown in New York City, Cardiff in Wales, London in England, and Roost in Austria. We'll be giving away our new textbook, Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0. Find out more about these exciting events, and for details on how to attend, go to liveshop.vinitaly.com. Limited spots available. Sign up now. We'll see you soon.
Welcome to this special Italian wine podcast broadcast. This episode is a recording off Clubhouse, the popular drop-in audio chat. This Clubhouse session was taken from the Wine Business Club and Italian Wine Club. Listen in as wine lovers and experts alike engage in some great conversation on a range of topics in wine. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinepodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. And remember to subscribe and rate our show wherever you tune in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Clubhouse Ambassador's Corner. This is the show that happens every week, and we have ambassadors from all over the world who choose the producer they want to interview. And yeah, this is a very geeky show that does very well on the Italian Wine Podcast. We replay it on the podcast, and barring any, technical snafus, this should be just fantastic. So today we have Wayne Young interviewing Marko Primosic, and I'm not sure I said that correctly, but I think I did. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction here. I should probably tell you guys why you're talking to me instead of Stevie. Stevie is currently on her way back from doing a VIA course in Austria. So she is traveling as she does very often. So that's why I'm stepping in here. So hope that's okay. So Wayne, how you doing?
I am doing just fine. How are you doing, Joy?
Fantastic. You could be a radio presenter. Your voice is just so smooth. I'm loving it.
Thank you. It's all of the digital effects I have on my Rodecaster, so makes me sound more smooth. Yeah.
Oh, we have one of those too, but I'm not using it. It's very pretty. I love it. It's awesome.
Because I have a podcast that I do here in Friuli called La Taverna, so I got to have a little bit of toys to play with.
Oh wow, I'm loving it. Okay, no, seriously, I spend all day editing audio, and your voice is awesome. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. It's very kind.
All right. So here we are. I see here that you've done this before, actually, this Clubhouse, haven't you? I remember you've done it more than once. I definitely remember that. But from what I recall here, so you're an American living in Friuli Venezia Giulia, and you've been there since 1998. Where in the U.S. are you from?
I grew up in New Jersey. I lived for about 10 years in New York City, working in the wine business at Wine Spectator and as a sommelier for some of Joe Bastianich's restaurants there. And then I came here to do a 6-month experience, and here I am, 21 years later, still here.
Right. You got into cellar work after the Wine Spectator and the Becco restaurant in New York.
Exactly.
And then you did a harvest, and that became 4 years. Where did you do that harvest that, converted you?
Well, I decided to leave the restaurant world, and Joe Bastianich was nice enough to send me to do the first harvest for his winery here in Friuli. Mm-hmm. So my idea was it was just going to be sort of an experience, go see how wine was made. And I ended up actually working in the cellar for 5 years.
Awesome. Okay. No, that, you know what? I've always wanted to go and visit his winery. I'm a bit of a Joe Bastianich fan. Everybody knows this. I think he's pretty awesome. So cool. That's awesome. So you then, you got married and never looked back. You are
exactly
in Udine. Yeah. Awesome. Do you have any kids?
No kids. Yes. Childless by choice.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. I totally understand that. All right, so tell me, why are you now? I'm not sure. Marko Primosic.
Primosic, yes.
Yes. Okay. Why did you choose Marko to interview today?
Well, there's a couple of reasons why I chose Marco. Well, first of all, is because he's my first introduction to Ribolla Gialla, which is a really important native grape variety to Friuli. And second of all, he is intimately involved, if not the reason why there is this Ribolla di Oslavia group that creates these macerated Ribolla Gialla wines from this little village of Oslavia. And I think it's very important as sort of a model for the rest of Friuli to set their sights on.
Okay. Okay. And so you've been to his winery. You understand. You've tasted everything. Okay. So all right. Well, what do you want us to take away from this? Like, what would you like everybody to remember after this interview in
Well,
terms of learning?
I would love everyone to remember what a great guy Marko Primosic is, because we've been
Okay.
friends for a long time. And his wines are fantastic, and he's always super open to doing events and things like that. So I really want people to understand who he is and how his wines are. But I also want to, bring a little bit of attention to this Ribolla di Oslavia project that they've been working on for a while, because I think it's really important how 7 producers can come together and make such an incredible impact on the wine world from a tiny village in the northeast corner of Friuli.
Yeah, no, that is a lot of that. Yeah, that would take a lot of organization, coordination. Uh, yeah, I could totally get that. So I guess before I continue on, Marco, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Good evening.
Hello, good evening. So I'm going to leave you in Wayne's capable hands back at the end, just in case there's any questions or anything like that. All right, Wayne?
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Joy.
Thank you.
Perfect.
All right. Well, here we are. Marco, thanks for coming
Yeah.
all the way here to Corno di Rosazzo today at the Tasting Academy. So obviously, I know you, but the people who are listening may not know you as well. So tell me a little bit about yourself and about your winery.
Well, thank you, Wayne. But after so nice words that you give to me, then and that's my. I'm sorry, guys. This is my first podcast, so if I talk some bad, don't kill me.
Don't worry
So,
about it.
my name is Marko Primosic. Primosic sounds like many family names here on the border between Italy and Slovenia. My family name is like the winery name, and we have a very long story with the wine and with the region we are living, especially with a small hill named Oslavia. Like many family in this region are engaged for many generations in winemaking. So my story is one of the story, and me and my brother Boris are the fourth generation engaged in winemaking.
Okay.
And my father Silvan started bottling in 60. That's a little the start of our family story.
So he started bottling his family wines in 1960.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
1960.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time. That's very early for Friulian wine.
Special because we are in the region with terrible story. It's a story of First World War that moved all people away from this area. And then there were a Second World War just on the doors. That's mean the very poor time. We are talking here in the region something between what's happened before First War and then the Renaissance after the Second World War. That means that the 60, it is the part of this Renaissance.
Okay. So your family was involved in Oslavia and with winemaking even before the First World War.
Yeah, yeah. There was my grandparents, Josef, and the
Okay.
grandparents, Karl.
Okay.
And the Carlo is a very important name in our family. All first son in every generation have to be one with the name Carlo.
Carlo or
Yeah,
Carl,
correct.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you manage to escape Carl, or are you not the oldest?
I'm the oldest, but there are many families. So my uncle was Carlo, and
Okay.
my nephew is Carlo. So that's
Okay.
it's a never-ending story. So
Gotcha.
yeah, we are more known in Yugoslavia like the sons of the grandparents Carlo, like with Primosic family.
So the two world wars were really traumatic for this area of Friuli, this border area between Friuli and what is now Slovenia.
Yeah, because there was the border. We are talking about the border between Eastern world and Western world. We are
Okay.
living in this small hill, but the board during the centuries moved so many times, and we have deep roots. We stay there, but we have many story to talk about that.
So even though the border has moved, your roots have remained firm in Oslavia.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about the winery. How big is the winery at this point, and have these vineyards always been in the family?
We have some vineyards. Of course, the heart of the cellar is in Slavia village, and then we have some vineyards in the areas that are just few miles around the winery in San Floriano and Lucinico, and of course in Slavia. But we are like a garages, so a very small winery. We are talking about just a few thousand cases a year, just
Okay.
not a million bottles.
No, of
Yeah.
course not. No. So, we want to talk a little bit about Ribolla Gialla because, full disclosure, I have not always been a huge fan of Ribolla Gialla, but I want to know, has Ribolla Gialla always been really, really important for where you come from? Has it always been part of your winery?
There are two things about Ribolla Gialla, and because we are really all producer in Slavia, so fall in love with this grape. You have to understand the Collio area. It's of course born the consortium in 60s. This is the second more oldest consortium in Italy. Is the next after the Chianti. That was the first. And on that time and many years before, the nobility was engaged to produce the wine. The farmer have just to work the land.
Okay.
And the Slavia have a little different story and special who are the nobility in the area. They are Austro-Hungarian, so Austrian families, and connected with some French families. And that means that the nobility in the wine, the nobility of the wine was German grapes or German regional grapes and
Okay.
French grapes.
Uh-huh.
The only farmer grapes was the Ribolla Gialla. And
So Ribolla Giallo was more of a farmer's grape and not a grape for the nobility.
yeah,
Okay.
and like farmers in Slavia, there was one of the mayors that we are a little rustic people, so we love a little so be on the other side, no? And that's mean Ribolla Gialla was the grape that we have cheese probably many centuries years ago. Or
So it's
there
always
are
been
some
part
old
of
people
Oslavia.
that talking us. We don't uh, follow the Ribolla, but Ribolla Gialla catch the people in Slavia. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
nice story about the grape.
So it really is part of that particular
Yeah,
area.
we're talking about Queen of Slavia.
Yeah.
So it's a lady, Ribolla Gialla. The other grapes are not female.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the queen
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Oslavia.
Yeah.
What was it about Ribolla Gialla that made the people of Oslavia fall in love with that grape variety? What was it that was so special?
First of all, we need to know that it is a very, it's a grape that grows well and need a very, very good soil and very special climate condition to grow it well. If you planted Ribolla Gialla in a very rich soil, they produce a lot of yield with very poor grapes. That means rich soil, poor grape, poor soil, very rich grape. And this, the Ribolla Gialla grape is a grape with a very big bunch. It's probably 5, 6 times much bigger, like a Chardonnay, for example.
Okay.
And that means a lot of water,
Needs a lot of
inside.
water. So,
Yeah,
okay, so
a lot of juice.
a lot of juice.
If you'd like to produce a good wine, you have to put this grape in on the top of the hills in the much more poor soil with less organic material, with beautiful sun, and you need really that this grape, the growth of the vines a little softer, and you find this kind of climate and soil, then produce a very good quality. And there starts some competition for producers to be really proud to produce the more poor grape a very good wine.
So the competition was to produce as little as possible,
Yeah,
but very rich grapes.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's starting with the face of grape. That's mean Ribolla Gialla is the only one grape that the bunch and the skin is gold. And you really, if you see the grape in the vines on the harvest time, you define this beautiful golden color, and the other grapes could be green or I don't know, so small beans. Good. Ribolla Gialla, it's big, it's a beautiful fruit. Like farmer loves color and loves nice fruits, and that's the matter of love.
Okay. Is Ribolla Gialla early ripening, light ripening? When does is compared to other grape varieties?
It's a very late ripened, normally after the reds. It's
After the reds.
yeah, first week in October for our region.
Okay. So is there something special about Oslavia that makes it great for Ribolla Gialla? Because it really has become your grape variety in Oslavia.
Oslavia is recognized inside, is a part of the hills of the Collio, but it's recognized that his poor soil, Ponca, and the nice wind from eastern, cold wind, Bora, makes this corner very important, very nice for this kind of grape. We have some, we're talking about wines of stone and wind. With this beautiful sun to catch at the morning to the evening on the top of the hill, and quite of ancient wines with very centuries-old tradition. The territory of Oslavia has a beautiful microclimate, and of course, without the labor of man, nothing happened.
Of course.
But with this beautiful sunny slopes and nice ventilation, create an ideal habitat for this wine.
Okay. So we're talking about hillside vineyards,
We have some terraces in the hill.
terraces. Okay.
And then catch the right sun, the beautiful ventilation, and then the magic soil, Ponca.
Yeah, tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about Ponca for those who maybe aren't familiar with what
It's
Ponca is.
ideal soil for Ribolla Gialla. Origin of Ponca is from geological point. It is an ocean origin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not volcanic or it was
So
formed.
it comes from the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Exactly. Was born 45 million years ago with sedimentation of the seabed. And that means some stratification of different minerals and sandstones, and then make a very poor soil in terms of organic material with a very good drainage, but rich in minerals. And this kind of soil gives just one chance to the vines. Put very deep the roots inside
Okay.
the soil, catch the water, special for summertime, but the vines have to work hard to find some minerals, organic material. And this is a very good balance between growing not too fast and with this slow growing means uh, make a very good concentration in some of the fruits of minerals, what is very important then to produce the wine.
So this is that struggle that you were talking about, that Ribolla Gialla needs that struggle to bring out its best.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's very important.
Cool. So what have been, moving away sort of from the winemaking part, and we may get back to that a little bit later, but Ribolla Gialla has become sort of fashionable in Italy. I know there was a big boom, and maybe there still is, for Ribolla Gialla all over Italy. Um, so what have been some of the challenges and the things that you've done to market Ribolla Gialla in Italy, with great success, but maybe some of the challenges outside of Italy for Ribolla Gialla for marketing?
Yeah, we have to put completely two different stories between Italy and outside Italy.
Okay.
In Italy, we are one of the wineries that are very, very engaged to promote Ribolla Gialla grape. And I personally was really fall in love with this grape with the test. And my thinking was the wine is so nice, so crispy, so beautiful, so drinkable, so easy to pair with so different kind of dishes. And on the market was very conventional, very local. And my thing was, which is the right way to communicate, special to the new generation. They are looking more for the interesting wine, local wine, to catch the attention of these guys. They are interesting to local wine. And that just happened. Happened that in roughly in the year 2002, starting an idea about not so much to change the wine or change the packaging of the wine, because Ribolla Gialla means yellow.
Yellow, yeah.
Yellow is the color of the sun. And this grape has inside his name or his name the color that means giallo.
Okay.
And the idea was we have to communicate with a beautiful packaging. That means using the color of the name of the grape with a yellow label, but special to catch the attention of not conventional or classic wine lovers, but some more new youngs engaged more to look and catch some local grapes, a different way of communication. And we're starting in very original way a collaboration with supercar importers in Italy to communicate with some events about the racconti gialli.
Italian Wine Podcast, brought to you by Mama Jumbo Shrimp.
Okay. Racconti gialli, which in English, I mean, it's an interesting thing. In Italian, when you talk about racconti gialli, you're talking about mystery stories, right? Agatha
Correct.
Christie style mysteries. But here they're called racconti gialli, or gialli for short, which is part of the name of Ribolla Gialla, because of the cover of the books.
Exactly.
At one time they were published, so you knew that there was that type of
Yeah.
story.
If you go in the bookshop in Italy and you would like find a mystery book, yeah, you just follow the color, and then if you find
A yellow
book, that means that you are in
Okay.
the right place inside the bookshop. And the Porsche cars in Italy organized for not professional writers a competition in different cities, many cities in Italy, to talking about Gialli. And we are part of this event and using this communication to youngs books, a different way of talking about wine to promote increase the knowledge to different people, to different guys of Ribolla Gialla grape.
Interesting.
And that was very, very successful. After 3 years, 2 years of the many events and all the Italy start to be increase the knowledge of Ribolla Gialla. And this event are in the best places in old coffee bars in
Ah,
Italy.
like
Yeah,
coffee house
yeah.
where like writers would hang out and very smart. I love that.
And that's really catch attention of the new generation, different way for talking about wine. And today, in every place in Italy, you find in a wine list a Ribolla Gialla. That
It's
means
true.
that, yeah, what works well sometimes think different.
I also believe that people just love saying Ribolla Gialla. I think it's a
It
little
sounds
poem.
nice,
Yes,
yeah.
it sounds nice. So, yeah, I do remember you for a while driving around in a very yellow Porsche.
And that was the lucky part of the story, yeah.
I was jealous. I was jealous. So, I mean, we've talked a lot about that. How about outside of Italy? How did you? Because I think outside of Italy is still a little bit more of a challenge for Ribolla Gialla. It's become a phenomenon in Italy. What about in the United States as a big market or other markets around the world?
In starting in 2000, of course, I travel a lot to talking about Ribolla Gialla grape, and was not easy because the wine is very modern now, but on that time, the idea of important whites was full body, heavy, very powerful, high in alcohol, and so many other things that Ribolla Gialla isn't. Ribolla Gialla is crispy, very elegant, low alcohol, rich mineral wine,
Mm-hmm.
and very delicate and elegant. So it was very happy to talk about Ribolla Gialla. Nobody knows the grape, nobody knows the wine, and the test was not, of course, the right focus or the right file at that time. Um, Many very good sommelier around the world starting to introduce Ribolla Gialla, especially in the fish restaurants. We are looking for more delicate grapes. But yeah, that's good that after uh, 20 years, a lot is changed.
Okay.
And they not all following so body heavy, high alcohol whites, and it's a new story, a new place for Ribolla grape. Much more easier today abroad.
Yeah. Well, there are two faces to Ribolla Gialla, especially in Oslavia, because yes, we do have this fresh, low alcohol, which we're drinking right now. Really easy, wonderful with fish, summertime wine. But there's another side to Ribolla Gialla, especially in Oslavia, which is the macerated style, the
Yeah.
orange wine style. So, is there something about Ribolla Gialla that's particularly good for this style of wine, for this macerated style?
It is really the story of the grapes. The richness of this grape, it is in her skin. And they will recognize the value or rediscover the skin. There was the story of our grandparents, and then it's coming back. And today, probably mostly, if you find a bottle of Ribolla around the world, probably is skin fermented.
Okay.
Yeah, this golden envelope, that's the skin of Ribolla, is really the precious, is the richness with his dense polyphenolic
Okay.
mineral components that's inside of the skin. Um, Skin fermented Ribolla, it's the rediscovered in Oslavia the authentic expression of this grape, the integrity of this grape. The maceration give the wine the expression, the right expression, this fullest power, but not alcoholic, mild, but really dry and full of the skin. It's an evidence of this very nice relationship with Ribolla Gialla, and I respect this very old tradition that really knows our grandparents is something that's coming back.
It's coming.
And
So
yeah,
this was more of the historic, the original way that Ribolla Gialla was made. When you talked about how it was the farmer's wine, the farmers weren't drinking this super fresh and crisp Ribolla Gialla. They were drinking macerated Ribolla Gialla.
yeah, that's correct. Exactly. This just something that's happened with increase of technology in 60s, that all grapes are made in the same way, just crispy and easy, sometimes watercolor, and but that's we it's not more, don't exist more, and that's a very good uh, part of the story. Today we go back, we recognize the good things of our grandparents' knowledge. That's mean catch the goods of skin fermentation, uh, and it's not sometimes talking about uh, un or no enologist wine. It's not correct, but this knowledge is very important to produce the skin fermented wine too, because you need to know much more respect if we are working with spontaneous fermentation, no any ads, no selected yeast. But that don't mean that you don't recognize what's happened.
Okay.
You need to know.
So let's talk about Ribolla di Oslavia, because
Yeah.
Ribolla di Oslavia is actually a denomination. It's something that is codified, and you can't just put Ribolla di Oslavia on any bottle of wine. It has to be very particular. So, can we talk a little bit about what Ribolla di Oslavia is exactly? So, some of the guidelines, the way that it needs to be made.
Ribolla di Oslavia is a tradition that starts with a very strong individuality in 90s, special with two guys, Stanko Radikon and Joško Grauner. And in 10 years, uh, this words increase uh, a reality that's an Oslavia style.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that some points of this work means that it's a way of pioneers, and they makes the route, but sometimes means they go way and sometimes means come a little back.
Okay.
Yeah. Today means that we need to work in the vineyards in very organic way.
Okay.
That means that we have spontaneous fermentation without any selected yeast, no any ads, no any sulfites, nothing. The wine make a skin contact fermentation, that means first and second fermentation or malo fermentation for minimum 4 weeks or a month. After that, move to wooden barrels, no French brick, not because we don't love French people.
Okay.
That's just a matter of toast note or the influence of wood in the wine.
Okay.
We don't like any influence of toasted wood inside the wine. The only phenolic notes is from the skin, not from the wood.
Okay.
And then after 2 years in big wooden barrel, Slavonian wood, it's possible to bottle Ribolla di Oslavia wine.
Okay.
Not only, Ribolla di Oslavia has to be bored in Oslavia, vinificated in Oslavia, and bottled in Oslavia. And not only, the wines have to be born in Oslavia.
Okay. Well, just to give people an idea, Oslavia is how many people? How many people live in Oslavia?
They are less, probably 160 people.
So we're
Three
not
mi-
talking about Manhattan here. We're
Yeah,
not,
no, we are talking about 3 miles probably,
Okay.
and all working in the vineyards,
Yeah.
and 7 wineries.
7 wineries. So when did this sort of group of 7 producers start to come together, or to sort of codify or define what Ribolla di Oslavia is?
This started after 2005. Me and Stanko Ragodigon start talking about uh, the knowledge of the Ribolla Gialla. That means was less, and special understand the how much is important to work together, to share experience. Special is nothing is written, and that means we really start to put friends uh, from the village on the round table, talking about the Ribolla Gialla, and in very spontaneous way. That's really nice connection of friends. Move to another step and realize that we can work to direction to realize an Yugoslavia style, not of winemaking.
Okay.
And to give to our sons uh,
And daughters.
And daughters, of course, a milestone
Okay.
that don't exist before. And this not only, we realize that many old people that are working in the vineyards, that spend the life in the vineyards. There was the generation, people born in roughly in 30s, 40s, that 70, 80 years old. They have a lot of stories to tell, a lot of knowledge because of our hills. And we would like catch all the stories, and together with Seminario Veronelli, we will write a book, and that all together is not a book that told the story in commercial way. It's really the milestone of Oslavia.
Of Oslavia. Yeah. So these 7 producers are yourself. Okay. So
Yeah.
Primosic, we mentioned Gravner, Radikon. What are the others?
Then Dario Princic,
Dario Princic. Okay.
La Castellada,
Right.
and Figel, and Il Carpino.
And Il Carpino.
Yeah.
So these are the 7 producers who
Yeah.
make, and only these 7 producers can make Ribolla di Oslavia.
Yes, it's exactly, it's correct.
Was there a lot of, was it very difficult to get 7 producers to agree?
Yes, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
You know how we are here in Collio.
In Italy.
Yeah, easy personality.
Yeah.
Heavy
That's
individuality.
Sarcastic. Yeah, very individual. Yeah.
Yeah, but
so how did you manage to make everyone happy?
Really, it's a nice story because it's really the love for our village. Our all family with very deep roots with this beautiful hill, and really it's a place where love to living, to preserve the village where we are living. And that's the part of wine growing too. That's mean how you are working. Sometimes asking me, you are working biodynamic, you working biologic, you are working organic. No, we are working in the place we are living.
Okay.
It's much more important.
Okay.
And so this respect, it's really the connection for the place where we are staying, where we are living, where we are working, where we're spending our life. It is the right connection. And then we find in Ribolla Gialla, like a scene or something that helps to stay together.
Okay.
And it's like a gamble.
And in my experience, it's been really great tasting through different producers of Ribolla di Oslavia because they all have a lot in common, but that each one has their own personality. So it's not like you might think 7 producers making sort of the same wine with the same rules in the same place, that they would all be the same wine, but they're not. Each one has a very, very distinct personality.
That's correct.
So
exactly.
how does each producer keep their personality in their Ribolla di Oslavia?
Oh, this is not the easy
Not
answer.
easy.
Uh, I think that's the best way is coming in Yugoslavia, visit the winery, talking with the
Okay.
producer, test the wine, and really make this personal experience.
Hmm.
My answer it is that with same rules that doesn't mean that we have the same wine. The same rules means that we work with the respect of this position, of this kind of rules, of this kind of vision,
Okay.
but we don't lose the nice part of wine that is talking about wine, sitting together, testing the wine, uh, talking about every vintage a different story, because we can put so many rules, but every vintage is completely different. And uh, the wine with aging, with staying, and then the spontaneous fermentation, it's really a gamble.
Is it?
Yeah, that's mean it's the matter how been lucky this year or not.
Okay. So it's a bit of a gamble. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about, just to sort of finish up on the wines. We talked a little bit about, the crispy, fresh aspect of Ribolla Gialla when it's done in a certain way. How would you describe the Ribolla di Oslavia with this maceration? What kind of feeling would you be getting from a taste of this wine?
First of all, it's like a white red that mirror the start a new wine color in the wine world. We are talking about orange
Orange.
wine.
Yeah.
We are not all fall in love with this name, but it is the name of the wine today.
Exactly.
We prefer amber wine because the color is so much between gold and amber. And I think this first touch, it is really, if you see inside the glass, look the glass of the wine, this amazing color. That's the first touch with Ribolla di Oslavia. And then the nose, because the Ribolla Gialla is a very neutral wine if fermented without skin. But if it's orange, amber fermented, it became amazing richness. So many, this competition between bacters and yeast during the fermentation without any ads increase amazing complexity because many kind of yeast working. Then we have play between high temperature, extracting from the skin, from the juice, working the skin, working the juice, increase amazing complexity. And then this wine aged minimum 2 3 years in a big wooden barrel. That means they increase the complexity in the nose. And this just first touch before testing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Before you even put the wine in your
Yeah,
mouth. Yeah.
correct. And then if there's the wine, um, there happen two things. First is, oh, phenolic notes, uh, quite aggressive together with the acidity. It's like if you test some spicy dishes. First touch with a spicy dish is just spicy. But second and third test, your mouth don't move only on the spicy notes. Recognize so many things. The same is with the orange wine.
Okay.
First test is just phenolic, is just dry, is just tannic, is just the acidity. But then, if we test and retest, uh, we find inside a big world of aromas, many things, completely different richness, and it's something that uh, have two chance: fall in love or really not like.
So there's no middle ground.
Correct. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
What do you drink Ribolla di Oslavia with when you're at home?
Oh,
What do you pair it with?
we are very the fantastic dish. We are near Adriatic Sea. I just traveled to here today, and I look on my right side of the street, the mountain with the snow,
Yeah.
and on the left the Adriatic Sea. In half hour you are between Adriatic Sea on the nice mountain, And this beautiful Adriatic Sea provide so nice sardoni e sardoncini, the anchovies. Yeah, and the fried anchovies with ribolla is something crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's the amazing pairing.
Okay. So, what about some other projects just beyond sort of the wines in Oslavia? I know that you guys are also developing other ways to sort of promote not just the wines, but Oslavia as a place. Tell me a little bit about that project.
We understand that all we guys, that's Yugoslavia, beautiful young generation of producers, the new generation, and they travel a lot. They have the chance to talk about the Ribolla abroad. But at the end, we realized that to really understand well the wine, the work, it is really to visit, to come and visit Yugoslavia. We are very lucky because we are the last corner of Italy, forgotten corner of Italy, the last hill in Italy for so many years. We don't have industry, we don't have any highway, we don't have at the end nothing. Our lovely hills, but today there's the richness. It is that we don't have only vineyards, but a nice balance in the nature with the respect of the green, of the grass, of the vines. That's amazing, beautiful combination. But to understand these things, you have really to come to visit, to relax, to spend the time, to talk with the people. And the only one way it is to do this. And our project for the next future, it is coming in Yugoslavia, visit us. We have to provide, but for this, uh, we, of course, we are talking about a niche. We are not talking about of million of people. That's 3 miles place.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But we are working really to invite wine lovers to coming and to understand much better what we do there.
You've created a, sort of like a percorso, like a hiking trail.
Yeah.
Through with little tables and stops, and
The tables.
each producer has their little stop along the way.
It's correct, exactly. Each producer in some special place inside the vineyards where you can see the work of the man and the beautiful of the nature, but the place where you can relax and really enjoy the view and the nature.
Okay. So we've spoken about Ribolla Gialla. We've spoken about Ribolla di Oslavia. Are there any other products from your winery that you're particularly proud of beyond Ribolla Gialla? No?
But, we are here in this corner. Ribolla Gialla is our queen, but we cannot forget that we are in the Friuli Venezia Giulia, and that means Friulano is a very important grape, is a flagship of our region, is a flagship wine, and the, the Malvasia Istriana starts from the Collio to the Istria. Then we are talking about mostly indigenous grape and with a very long tradition with our terroir, with our story. So the first wine, of course, Ribolla Gialla, but in the same way, Malvasia and Friulano.
Friulano. How about some red wines or sparkling wines?
Ribolla Gialla works well for sparkling too.
Do you make sparkling Ribolla Gialla?
With some Pinot Nero, Pinot Noir. Yeah,
yes,
not
I've had that
100% Ribolla Gialla.
It's delicious.
We love some more tannin together from reds with Ribolla Gialla. And we really try to work in contact with the skin with Friulano and a gamble with Pinot Grigio too.
With Pinot Grigio as well.
Yeah, because Pinot Grigio at the end is a grape with a pink skin,
of course,
and white juice, but fermented with the skin is completely different wine. And too much boring Pinot Grigio around the world, and that's the matter that we would like work hard on this grape because it's a crazy, interesting grape with a lot of power, with a lot of energy, with a lot of potential for aging. Nobody talk about Pinot Grigio with aging potential. Yes, taste it, and it's a very interesting grape.
So what are you doing with Pinot Grigio?
A short contact with skin,
Okay.
and then aging in big barrel. But for us, the goal it is really catch not too much phenolic notes from the skin to preserve some aromatic notes classic from Pinot Grigio. And find the right balance between body and acidity and phenolic notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any new projects? Anything on the horizon? Something that you're working on that's coming soon or coming in the future? Something you would love to do?
Our hard work it is, of course, in two ways. One, it is we would like preserve the tradition of Fribola Gialla grape. Really, uh, for generation, we don't like lose the story of Fribola Gialla grape. The original taste of Fribola Gialla grape is the first. The second is the part of our story because we are not born like winery in the last 20 years and talking about only this special of war between conventional and natural wine. I don't agree with this point of view. And probably our future wine is something that's more than natural, more than conventional.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So, Leica and Joy, I've basically gone through so many things here with poor Marco. Maybe there's some questions out there that you would like to ask, or someone maybe in the clubhouse room that would want to ask Marco something.
Well, that was an awesome. I loved it. That was super. And you know what? There was details in that interview that I thought were so interesting, especially I did not know about the yellow books in Italy.
Yes.
I had no idea. Like, that is so cool. I'm going to totally look for that next time I'm in a bookstore. I'm assuming they still do it, right?
Do they still do that? I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they still do.
Yeah.
So if you find a
And
book that's yellow, it's a mystery book in the
and
Italian bookstore.
some special old collection
Yeah.
you can find in not in the right bookshops.
Exactly. I mean, even when you talk about television shows that are like mystery shows or whatever, they still call them gialli. And I think there's even a whole channel dedicated to gialli. Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Awesome. No, that's so cool. No, that was wonderful. And I think that you did a great job, Wayne, of
Thank you.
showing everybody about how, like, you wanted to show people just, what kind of person Marco was. And I think you did a good job. That was really great. So
Thank you. Well, like I said, Marco is not just a great producer, but he's also a really good friend. So
cool.
it's a pleasure having him here.
Aw, I love it. So I am going to, because we're about the end of time for this 1 hour, I want to just tell people that this is going to be replayed on the Italian Wine Podcast. And should anybody have any questions at all for Marco or Wayne, please can you either text Leica, okay, DM Leica, or you can also just send me an email at info@italianwinepodcast.com and I will forward that and we'll get you the answer. So guys, thank you so much for taking the time to be on this program today. And I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Well, you too. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's always a pleasure coming on your guys' clubhouse, and obviously, thank you, Marco, for coming.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you. Have
Thank
a
you,
great
Joy.
evening.
Thank you, Leica, for all of the behind the scenes work. I know that it seems like this happens spontaneously, but it doesn't. And we've been in touch, and I know that we skipped this back in December, I think, when I had COVID. So thanks for the patience as well.
everyone. Bye.
Grazie a
Thanks,
tutti.
everyone who
Bye,
came to
guys.
listen. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Grazie.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.